Hi everyone, I'm Eve and welcome back to my channel as well as another chapter discussion from the book History of Yoga All Started on a Stone by Ramis Kachar. This week we will be talking about chapter 8, which is titled From One Came Many. And if you're looking to learn more about the book, I'll be sure to link all of the other chapter descriptions somewhere up here. And with that, let's get into the fun stuff. In this chapter, Ramis discusses a handful of different yoga styles that are taught and practiced today, and he lumps them into a few different categories. They are yoga for a workout, well balanced practices, physically supportive yoga, and last but not least, spiritual yoga. This is not a comprehensive list of all of the different styles that are practiced and taught in modern times. However, there are quite a few that Ramis does mention, and so I will go into detail about a few of them from each category, and then I'll list the other ones on the screen, so that way if you're interested in looking them up, you're able to. The first category that Ramis mentions is yoga for a workout, and one of these styles in here is actually the style that I teach, which is called Vinyasa Yoga. And Ramis mentions that this is a very cardiovascular heavy style class, which I believe, yes, it can be very cardiovascular heavy with fast and quick movements. A lot of times you're practicing linking your breath and your movement together. And in some classes, you might find that the instructor teaches one breath to one movement, which means that class can move very fast. However, I still consider myself a teacher of this style, and I tend to teach more on the slow paced, relaxed side of things, still working on linking the breath and the movement together, as well as linking the different postures together. Ramis also mentions Ashtanga Yoga, Bikram Yoga, and Power Yoga. Ashtanga and Bikram Yoga are both set sequence classes, so no matter what class you go to, the sequence of poses will always be the same, and you will always do the same poses in every class. And I don't have a lot of experience with Ashtanga or Bikram Yoga. I have taken a couple Bikram style classes and it was not for me. I do have a little bit more experience with power yoga since it is a subset of vinyasa, and I wanted to add on a few things to what Ramis had to say. I would agree that it is a rigorous workout and there's a lot of focus on cardiovascular training, endurance training, as well as strength building. And some of those things might look like the pace at which you're going. Otherwise, it's looking at holding different postures, particularly arm balances, which requires a lot of coordinated strength with the core, the arms, the legs, and understanding how to hold your body in a certain position in order to be able to balance in those postures. I wanted to add on to Ramis's description by adding, I feel that power yoga tends to pull a few things from Pilates. I've never been to a Pilates class. I've never taken any Pilates instructor training, so it's out of my wheelhouse to say the least. However, whenever I go to a power yoga class, that seems to be how the instructor presents the class, is that it's a combination of vinyasa yoga or flow style yoga with Pilates mixed in. And from my experience, it seems to be a lot of core work or core strengthening added on to the different postures that you would find in a regular vinyasa style class. The next category is well balanced practices, and I'm not familiar with any of these styles. However, they are White Lotus Yoga, Kali Ray Tri Yoga, and Jiva Mukti Yoga. In general, it appears that all of these have a physical style to their classes, but they also incorporate other aspects of yoga like meditation, pranayama, perhaps it's mudras, which were mentioned, I believe, in chapter 5, and integrating those into your asana practice. The next category of yoga style is physically supportive yoga. And there's integrative yoga therapy, Iyengar yoga, Phoenix rising yoga therapy, and Vini yoga. The only one that I'm familiar with out of this group is Iyengar yoga, and I've never taken an Iyengar class. However, we did talk about it briefly in my yoga teacher training, and it was described as a prop heavy class. And this is to help support people with all different ranges of motions or all abilities within their body. And that includes being able to alternate poses through props for people with various injuries. And the idea is to get into a certain alignment using those props. I'm not familiar with the type of alignment that Iyengar instructors are looking for, but I do know that alignment or the way that the body is positioned is very important in these style of classes. This brings us to our last category, which is spiritual yoga. And there's integral yoga, Sivananda yoga, Anusara yoga, Kundalini yoga, Ananda yoga, integrated science of Hatha, Tantra, and Ayurveda, Tibetan yoga. The only one that I know even a sliver about is Kundalini yoga, and I know so little that I'm going to use Ramis's words rather than try to explain it from my point of view. Kundalini yoga is based off of Tantra yoga, and with Kundalini yoga, very similar to different styles of yoga, there is the concept of prana or life energy that is found within ourselves. However, the goal of Kundalini is to take the energy starting at the base of the spine and pull it all the way up through the crown of the head. And they do that through various practices, whether it's the physical asanas, meditation, pranayama, mudras, or any of those different routines that are found within class in order to pull this energy up and out through the crown of the head. All right, that's already the end of chapter 8. I had a lot of fun learning about these different styles of yoga, especially the ones that I've never heard of before. And it was fun seeing a few styles that I am familiar with. To wrap up, as always, I would like to ask you a few questions. My first question for you is, what style of yoga would you like to learn more about? And for me, I would like to learn more about Kundalini yoga. I want to learn more about pranayama, the different routines, as well as the meditative practices that they integrate into the asana practice. My second question to you is, have you practiced any of these styles before? I did kind of answer this throughout the video. However, as I have previously stated, I am a vinyasa style teacher, so I've taken quite a few vinyasa style classes. I've taken power yoga, I've done Bikram. One that was not mentioned that I like quite a bit is called yin yoga. And in a similar branch of yoga, I've also taken restorative, and I enjoy all of them a little bit. Again, I just want to learn a little bit more about Kundalini and perhaps take a few classes in that style. With that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!